Hey, welcome back to PennLive.com. Talking some Penn State football recruiting with our guru here, Greg Pickel. I'm Dustin Hockensmith. Looking at Tariq Castro-Fields, the cause for delay he was supposed to announce Monday evening of this week has postponed that decision to National Signing Day. Penn State was viewed as being in the driver's seat for him, so I think any delay can rightfully be cause for concern, I suppose. But I don't know if maybe people are making too much out of this. Maybe he just wasn't ready to decide.
I think when you put a limit on your commitment, you say 2 weeks before you're going to announce that you're going to announce, and you get Penn State, you get Maryland, and perhaps Alabama. Keep in mind, 9 coaches from those schools can message you at any time of day. So you have possibly 27 guys messaging you all hours of the day, all hours of the night, trying to convince you that their school is the right one. I think some kids just get a little, they're kind of head in the sand, and they just want to pull it out and make sure that they're making the right decision. They're picking the school that they like, not because of, all the attention they got in the last 2 weeks before their commitment, but because of everything that the school is offering them, not just before that point in time, but also the 3 to 4 years they're in school. So I don't think it's a huge worry for Penn State. I really don't. I think that they're going to obviously have to go in home with him this week. They're going to have to send Brent Pry down there. I believe Charles Huff recruits that area, Sean Spencer. They can't send Jens Franklin. He already did his in-home visit, but send everybody else down. Send the cavalry, if you will. Get in home with him. Make sure any questions he has are answered. Make sure that any concerns he has are answered. Find out why he delayed his commitment in any way you can reassure any questions he has. That's your best shot. It's not comforting for Penn State that he delayed it. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So here's where they're at. Penn State, Maryland, Alabama. There's some questions about how much Alabama wants him, if they are ready to take Castro-Fields. There's also the issue of on January 21st, Alabama had a decommitment at the cornerback position. Does that open up a space? You can probably look and see what Nick Saban's travel schedule is like for the next week to see if Alabama really is a factor here, or if they're just in the finalist pool and it's really a Penn State-Maryland competition.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is are they keeping the stove warm just in case things don't go their way with a handful of other guys? Henry Ruggs, the 4-star receiver that Penn State is also recruiting. Penn State and Alabama fighting for 2 guys down the stretch. So you would have thought that was going to happen. But I think that, Alabama's playing a little bit of the space game just like Penn State is at this point. Tariq Castro-Fields is a clear take for Penn State. Alabama, we're not so sure. Maryland, of course, he is a clear take as well. So I agree with Dustin that where Nick Saban goes, I think, is going to tell us a lot about what the Crimson Tide are thinking. And what Tariq Castro-Fields does on this last weekend might be interesting, too. Does he swing down to College Park and see Maryland one more time? I can't expect him to pay his way to go to Penn State or Alabama unofficially. But if he shows up at Maryland this weekend, might be a clue as well.
Look for the tea leaves there. Penn State's got 18 commitments so far in the 2017 recruiting class. Probably 2 more, 3 at most. But we will set up probably a week of a little bit more action than we're used to going into National Signing Day. He's Greg Pickel. I'm Dustin Hockensmith.